I don't ever take it for granted. I don't. When he came to this team, I knew it was going to be he was going to change the franchise, and he's done that and then some. He makes sure we're all ready to play. He makes sure we know what we're doing, and he makes sure that we're giving it our all. That's all you can ask from a leader.
Yeah, it's like once Tom figures you out, man, you're in trouble. And the wind didn't even affect him at all, and he was extremely accurate on the right guys. I mean, that was a dime he threw the mic for that long touchdown. And, yeah, he's a surgeon, man. I mean, once he figures you out and we can put him in a position and protect him, he's gonna eat you up.
Bruce Arians, Mike Evans on Tom Brady. Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. Despite being 44 years of age, they raced out to a 31-0 lead over the Eagles, who were outclassed and overmatched, and it was obvious from the get-go that the Buccaneers were the much better team, even with the wind, because I was getting a little nervous yesterday.
Yeah.
After getting it wrong Saturday night, I thought the Patriots would win. It caused me to doubt all of my remaining projections for the weekend, and I thought, oh, here we go. The Eagles are going to do to Tom Brady what they did to him in the Super Bowl 4 years ago, and the wind is going to be whipping, and they're going to get lucky here. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to chew up the clock, and they didn't belong on the same field as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. This gets back to the whole 2 versus 7.
Right.
Sometimes you get 2 versus 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think you're right about that. They're a different stratosphere than the Philadelphia Eagles football team. And you're right. I was a little concerned about the weather too. You picked it as one of your best bets, right? So that was probably like one of your going, oh no, I don't know if they're going to cover.
Made me more nervous.
Yeah,
made me more nervous.
But they were dominant. And again, a year where we talk about, I don't know if there's a great team in football. The Bucs are the team that I think are the closest to being that, especially if they're healthy. And again, we saw them healthier. I know there's no Antonio Brown and no Chris Godwin, but everybody else on the roster for the most part was there. I know they were missing Sean Murphy-Bunting, but relatively healthy in the secondary. Levante David was back. JPP and Shaq Barrett were back. They got a few offensive linemen banged up in the game yesterday, but they came back and played. So we'll see where that goes. But either way, to your point, another class. And really, this is what scared me. And when we broke the game down on our podcast on Thursday about picking the games and really breaking it down, the Eagles defense, it had no chance ever of stopping it. They feasted on the poor all year long. If you could have handpicked the worst quarterbacks and offenses to go against down the stretch of the season, they got them all, But here's what they did against, teams that had a system and a quarterback. I mean, look at these numbers this year by the teams, these quarterbacks who played the Philadelphia Eagles defense. This is to me where, again, they had no chance. It's just too simple. They're not quite enough talented on that side of the ball. And these quarterbacks really, it was like 7-on-7 playing the Eagles this year. It was like, oh, great, we're playing the Eagles? All right, I'll get to throw for over 80% and around 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions and no problem. Totally different class, and then made the Eagles one-dimensional on the other side of the ball, and it was game over.
17-0 at the half. Would you have gone to Gardner Minshew?
No, I would not have. I wouldn't have. Hurst he had a really good year, but that's the moment. Yes, that I still have questions about Jalen Hurst. I do. You heard Bruce Arians talk about Brady when he figures it out. It's surgery. Jalen Hurts has shown no signs of surgery when they need him. To throw the ball and dissect people that way. That's going to be the thing they're going to have to evaluate going forward because, the Bucs stopped the run game. And we saw that now Jalen Hurts got to throw some ball into some tight windows. We got to depend on his right arm, decision-making accuracy. It's not to your normal starting quarterback level in that department. Now, he makes plays with his legs, and he's a gamer, and he's tough. But there was so many dropped interceptions in the game and erroneous throws where you just went, man, if they can't run the ball, I don't see how they're going to come back in this football game. And it just was the perfect storm of not doing much on the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles.
And something I heard Coach Dungy say last night, the idea that the Bucs were committed to taking away the run.
Yeah.
And the Eagles didn't challenge him down the field with Devontae Smith. It wasn't until the second half that they really started to use Smith. And, hey, this is quarterback in his first playoff game, head coach in his first playoff game, going against the Buccaneers.
Good year
on the
for
same
the
field
Eagles.
where they won the last Super Bowl. So they got nothing to be ashamed of. They got nothing to be ashamed of. Maybe they can build on this going forward. We're going to
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.